Hong Kong's wealthy are going digital. 93% now use online channels more, and nearly three-quarters are comfortable with AI guiding investments. To talk about this, we are joined by Stephanie Leung from StashAway. Steph, welcome. So let's jump right into our topic. Which segments remain underserved despite high digital adoption?
If you look at the high net worth or the emerging high net worth segment in Hong Kong, particularly those are younger professionals, kind of 30 to 45, they are very, very much underserved by the traditional banking sector, and also kind of investment options are very limited. And that's why at StashAway Hong Kong, this is a target segment that we're focusing on. And we offer them offerings such as private market access for as low as 20,000 US dollar, and also a range of investment portfolio, including our managed portfolio options that helps them to navigate through the markets and depths.
Are there also challenges that banks have faced in fully meeting this segment's needs?
Yeah, I think if you look at this segment, a lot of them have quite a bit of liquid wealth to invest. However, the options are actually quite limited. And oftentimes, there are a lot of strings attached, for example, very high minimums, lockups. And a lot of times, if you go to a kind of traditional financial advisor, they would tend to kind of give you perhaps a more biased advice because given the kind of retros that they get from the fund managers. So at StashAway, what we provide is a very independent kind of a holistic view of all the investment options out there, and we basically curate the best ones. So for example, we have a range of offering of different managed portfolios using ETFs because they are very low cost, and also they outperform kind of in the long run. And then secondly, we offer access, as I mentioned, to private markets. Over the course of the last 2 years, we've launched private credit, we've launched semi-liquid private equity, and also private infrastructure on our platforms for as low as 20K US dollar minimum. And that provides a very, very easy way for these young professionals or kind of affluent investors to diversify the portfolios through both public and private channels. And then lastly, I mentioned about the financial advice. So at StashAway, what we do is that we combine the ease of a digital wealth advisor with the kind of, with the human touch in terms of serving our clients to provide a 24/7 kind of anytime, anywhere access to our affluent investors.
So if you were to make suggestions or recommendations, where do you see the biggest product or service gaps that wealthtech can fill?
I think if you think about the gaps, basically there are a few. Number one is the high minimum that is required for a lot of these emerging affluent to get into some of these private banks and to have dedicated wealth advisors. And at StashAway, you can open an account for as low as 10,000 Hong Kong dollar. But also, if you reach a certain minimum amount, you also have our dedicated wealth advisor serving you to provide kind of non-biased advice as to where to allocate your portfolio to reach some of the life goals that you may have. So I think that kind of fulfills where traditional wealth advisors may fall short, in the sense that, if you only have a human advisor, you can't cover many aspects. Secondly, I think is the access part. So traditionally, I think if you have to get access to some of the best kind of private funds out there, again, it requires quite a lot of minimum and also a lot of surcharges and perhaps longer lockup periods. So with the semi-liquid and private offerings that we onboarded since last year at StashAway, we've made it actually very, very straightforward and very, very simple, and also easy to build like a well-diversified private portfolio using our building blocks. I think lastly is the kind of the ease of use of technology, both from a kind of customer interaction standpoint and also from a cost saving standpoint, right? Because I think with the use of technology, how we manage our portfolio is not by hiring a lot of human analysts, for example, but using our systematic framework called ERA, Economic Regime Asset Allocation Framework, which for one actually eliminates the human biases, the human emotions when markets go up and down. But secondly, we also save a lot of costs in terms of using systems, using algorithms to manage our investments. So that, these costs can actually be passed on to our customers so that we actually provide a very, very low cost solution over time. Also from a user perspective, the fact that you can log on to a very easy to use app 24/7, no matter where you are, you can manage your money as you like it. I think that is also a very, very big benefit versus the traditional banks.
A lot of good points there. Thank you so much for sharing your insights and for joining us today, Steph.
Thank you so much.
Once again, that was Stephanie Leung, Chief Investment Officer at StashAway. For more news, visit asianbankingandfinance.net.